that platform, okay? So you don't want to miss this. Okay, we are getting there. We are getting there. Can I tell you something before we start? Today I had to call IRS. Okay, it's working. Yes, it's working, my people. I had to call IRS. And you know that long wait where they put in the music. You know what I started doing? Oh my goodness. First, I waited for like 5 minutes. And you know, sometimes those wait can be very long. And then I had an idea. I'm like, why don't I start dancing on the song? And you should have seen me. Instead of me thinking this is taking longer, I started dancing. I started dancing. I started dancing. I started dancing. And what I called for, I got the answer that I needed. So if some of you're struggling right now, you feel stuck, I just give you what you need. You just need to move. You just need to move. Because sometimes, right, whenever we're waiting, and especially if it's an answer that you need in that moment, you know what happened? There's anxiety that comes with it. It comes with anxiety. It comes with fear. And now, because you're going through that moment, it will make you more stuck. I started dancing. You should have seen, I'm like, I'm that type of person. I can dance to everything and anything. Okay. It's called regulating your nervous system, by the way. Welcome, everybody. For those who are watching me on different platforms, I am so honored to have you here. If this is your first time, please put 1 in the chat. If you're watching this on a replay as well, and this is your first time, please put 1 in the chat. Put 1 in the chat. Okay. And for my people that have been there since day one, my people on TikTok, I appreciate you all. And the new people that are coming in, I appreciate you all. Now, if you haven't, if this is your first time coming across my content, my name is Shefi. I am an identity coach and nervous system research specialist. I help people to stop self-sabotage at a nervous system level. People that have they constantly start and then they stop, they start, they stop, they start, they stop. These people are known as chronic starters. And I used to be a chronic starter. And this is why my passion, this is what even led me to not just to learn more about it, but to get a certification and coach people that are stuck. I know what it is like to be stuck and knowing that you have all the potentials, but your potential, they can't go far. Your potentials are not serving you. Now, something that I've noticed is this. A lot of smart people are quietly exhausted. How do I know this? I know this by coaching them. And I know this because I am one of them. Thank you for the like. I know this because I've coached a lot of smart people. And I know this because I have one myself. And I remember when I was stuck because I was overthinking over and over again, right? So a lot of smart people are quietly exhausted, not because they are lazy, okay? It's not because they are stuck, not because they are lazy, not because they don't know, they don't want to do anything about their life, right? Not because they don't care, like most people will say it, but because they keep starting over and over and over. You start something today, you feel hopeful, you're motivated, right? Hopeful, motivated, you are excited. And then what happened? This time you're going to tell yourself, this time things feel different, right? This time I'm going to do it the right way. I will start and I will never stop. Now, while you're saying that, at the same time, your brain is telling you, well, we've been on this road before, nothing changes, okay? So when you're telling yourself this time, things will be different, something will happen, life gets heavy, and then here you are, what happened? While life is getting heavy, you start overthinking, okay? You delay, right? Because this is the pattern for most everybody that has been overthinking their way through life. You overthink, you delay, and what happened? You stop. While you stop, you tell yourself, and before you know it, the time has passed, and you're going to tell yourself, I am going to start over. This was my pattern for many years. I repeated this for many, many years until I told myself I matter. By the way, I'm wearing a shirt. Until I told myself I matter, right? And the fact that I told myself I matter helped me to come out of that ditch that I found myself in. So if anyone on the live today, You feel stuck. You want to move forward, but you feel like you cannot move forward. And you're tired of this, please put me in the chat. By the way, we do not judge here. And I just told you, I used to live that life, so I know what comes with it. I'm not asking you to put one in the chat so that you can feel a certain type of way about it, but this is what it is. Whenever you've been cued to respond, to put something in the chat, even if you're watching it on a replay, what you're telling yourself in that moment is you're giving yourself the permission to break out of that pattern, okay? Now, because this has been, thank you so much for the like, because this has been part of your pattern so much, you think you start identifying yourself with that pattern. And what happened? You're going to start being disappointed. Now, this disappointment, it hurts, right? It's not a sit, it hurts because you know what you're capable of doing. Not only do you know, but people have told you, people have applauded you, people have seen the result that you got whenever they come to ask you for an answer, or whenever they talk to you, they have seen the result that you're giving them. But when it comes to you, you do not have the same approach to resolve your own problem. So it's kind of like a disappointment, and this disappointment hurts because eventually you stop trusting yourself. You see that? You stop trusting yourself. You start wondering, why do I keep doing this? If you've ever asked yourself this question, if you've ever silently asked yourself, why do I keep doing this? Let me tell you, it's not because you're lazy. Okay? If you've ever asked yourself, why can't I follow through? It's not because you are not motivated. If you've ever asked yourself, what is wrong with me, right? It doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. For those who are just joining, welcome to the live. For those who are just joining, today, what are we talking about? We're talking about why you keep starting over. And I believe you're asking yourself the same question. Why is it that I keep starting over? Okay? I start strong. I show up day 1. Day 2, I no longer have that interest. Day 3, I ghost on myself. This has been the pattern for most of you over and over again. So today, what are we talking about? We're talking about why you keep starting over and how to finally follow through. So if you're wondering how you can finally follow through, you are definitely on the right live. You're watching the right live, or you're watching the right replay. Okay. If this feels personal and you're ready to roll, whatever you're doing, if you're watching this at work, okay, you can catch the replay later. Like I said, just put in Reset with Coach Sheffy on that platform and you can watch the replay. But if you're not at work and you said, Coach, let's lock in, please lock in with me, because in the next few minutes, I am going to give you some gems that will help you to get unstuck from that place that you are, okay? Now, inconsistency destroys self-trust. Whenever you tell yourself, I am going to show up, and you end up not showing up, that's called what? Inconsistency. Inconsistency destroys self-trust, okay? This is what I think about most people. Most people underestimate themselves, right? They think that they don't have what it takes. A lot of people, they underestimate themselves, okay? The emotional cost of inconsistency is this. Every broken promises. Let's go. It goes like this. Oh my goodness. Here you are. I'm just giving you an example of your memory bank. I'm just giving you an example of your brain, okay? Whenever you said, I am going to wake up at a specific time to do a certain work, and when you don't wake up at that time, that's the first broken promise. And on top of that, when you do not do the work, that's another broken promise. On top of that, when you don't show up fully throughout the day, that's another broken promise. So every broken promise costs confidence, okay? Every time that you restart, it costs you belief. This is what is happening. Every unfinished goal, what happened, becomes evidence against yourself. So anytime you said, I am going to do it, I am going to show up, okay? I'm going to, right? And then you do not, it's taking away your confidence. It's leading you into this place where it's slowly pushing you into that place of sabotaging on yourself. That being said, nobody just find themselves into being inconsistent. Nobody not find themselves into not showing up for themselves. Nobody just wake up and then they decide not to. There is a cycle, there is a signal before you get into that place. Okay, so every single time, right, every unfinished goal becomes evidence against yourself. After enough disappointment, this is what happened. You stop believing your own voice. After enough disappointment, you stop believing your own voice. Okay, and maybe not nobody else notice. You notice it because you're living with yourself, you're housing yourself, so you notice it. On the outside, you're this person that is really strong, that shows up, but in the inside, you are slowly, you feel like you're disappointing yourself. On the outside, everybody want to relate to you, but on the inside, what you're doing is you don't even want to get closer to you. And this is why a lot of people start hating themselves. A lot of people start rejecting themselves. Okay, nobody else is noticing this, but people still think you are the strong one. They're gonna give you tasks that matches that personality that you fed them with. They're gonna give you assignment that matches the strong one. They're gonna start calling you to ask for advice because that's who you are. But in the inside, you know you're slowly failing. You know you're slowly not showing up because of the amount of time that you did not honor your own promises toward yourself. And please, let me say this. The fact that I'm talking about this is not to make anybody feel guilty. It's not an invitation to make you feel like going through shame and all these things, right? Because you've repeated that pattern long enough. But this is what we're gonna do here. I'm bringing the awareness to the reason why this is happening, because once you know of what is happening, at the same time, you also develop the key, or you also have the key that you need to get yourself out of that pattern. So this is what it is, okay? So right now, if you're feeling a specific emotion like sadness, that's not a moment for it. That's not a moment for it. So as I was saying, nobody else notices. People still think you're the strong one. People still think you are the gifted one. People still believe that you are the one that they can count on. They still believe that you're the capable one. But privately, you are exhausted. Privately, you are tired. Privately, you keep asking all those questions. What is wrong with me? Why am I always playing small? Why do I know that this relationship is not going to work, but I'm still here? Why am I doing this to myself? Okay, you're privately asking all these questions because you're exhausted. The pattern you know is so well, but at times it's not even that you know the pattern. You think you are the pattern. So you mistake your identity with something that has established itself in your life. And that's what a lot of people are going through. Hello, millionaire. Welcome. Right? So you are exhausted. You're tired of disappointing yourself. Even though you are there for everybody else, you're tired of disappointing yourself. You feel like, how will this change? When can this change? Okay? Now, and that kind of tiredness feels different. It's not the same one where you went to work, you're tired, or you went to the gym, you were tired. This one is different because secretly, emotionally, you feel drained. You know there is more in you. You know that there is more in you. You know, Magdalena, welcome. You know that there is more in you. You believe that there is more in you. Not just because somebody told you that, not just because a prophet gave you a prophecy, but you know that when you put your mind into it, you see the results. So you're asking yourself, if I can just rush this and get this type of results, what if I dedicated enough time to it? What will I become the result? So this is why you're exhausted. This is why you're tired, right? So because you know there is more in you, but it feels like you're stuck. Something is holding on to you. And some people may say, what? I'm a Christian, so some people may say a spiritual attack. But this is what most people forget. Before it becomes a spiritual attack, there has to be a part of you that accepted it. You see that? Before it becomes a spiritual attack, there has to be a part of you that welcomed it. Okay? That's why the people will say, for Satan to tempt you, it will tempt you with something that you're familiar with, something that you know to do. So Satan is not going to test some people with money because he knows that these people are not struggling with money. So before we call it spiritual attack, maybe there is a part of you that was open to it. Okay? Now, you might also think that is because you're being lazy because people have told you that you're lazy. It is not about laziness. One thing I've seen over and over in my line of duty as an identity coach, one thing I've seen people do over and over is this. People think they're lazy. Can I tell you something? The fact that you think you're lazy, that's the easy way out. You just adopted that language so that you can check out quickly. You said, okay, well, I'm lazy. What else can I do? But please, this is not laziness. You are not lazy. You are not lazy. But usually what happened, just like I said, it's happening because a part of you is not identifying the pattern yet. It's a pattern. It's not you. It is a pattern, right? It's not you. So that's not what is happening. Sometimes what looks like procrastination is protection. You're being protected against the consequence that will come. What if? So what looks like a procrastination in that moment might just be a moment of you being protected. You intentionally created a system to protect yourself against the hurts. So protection from disappointment. You don't want to be disappointed. So let's say right now you want to apply for a job and you know that this job will change your situation, okay? But at the same time, you're telling yourself, what if it doesn't work? So in order not to go through the shame, in order not to go through the pain, what did you do? You intentionally, subconsciously told yourself, let's just avoid this. So that's protection, okay? Protection from rejection, protection from failing again, right? Sometimes overthinking is also protection. What if it doesn't work? Sometimes someone may just say, good morning. Overthinkers, this is how they move, okay? I used to be one, so I can describe it to you. No doubt. Overthinkers, just a simple good morning can even mean like, wait, what do you mean good morning? Where is the sun? How did the sun show up today? What is good? How do you write good? That's just an example of being an overthinker is, right? So overthinking is protection. Overthinking, it's you protecting yourself against the shame. The what if, all those things, that's what the overthinking is. So sometimes inconsistency is also protection. Whatever name you've given to all these things, it's just that you have decided to protect yourself against the results, against the consequence. Procrastination is protection because your body learned don't get hurt again. So when we are talking about this, right? When the body is telling you, don't get hurt again, do you know where the body is leading you? The body is leading you to the past. The body keeps the score. The body keeps the score. The body holds memory. That's why in my coaching session, when somebody comes in after, the first session and then they said, Coach, I think I know what I'm going through. So a lot of people will love doing that. We love doing that as human beings, right? Because we have a lot of information. So the person will tell you, Coach, I think I know what I'm going through because I have a daddy issue or a mom issue, whatever issue that we've been told, that we've read on the internet, and they diagnose us with that. We flow in life with it. Okay? But sometimes it's deeper. Okay, sometimes it's deeper than that. So you procrastinating, you overthinking, okay? You going through the motion and not wanting to do anything, feeling like you don't want to do anything. All these things is protection so that you don't feel hurt again. So you're being protected based on that which you've experienced as a child, based on what you've experienced as a teenager, based on what you've experienced as an adult, and all that. So your body has kept all these things. That is why every single time you want to move forward, it feels like you've been pulled in the back or in the past because that has not been dealt with yet. Okay? So you're being protected against, you'll be told, don't get your hopes up. Okay? You might tell yourself, don't get your hopes up. Don't trust too quickly, because maybe you trusted someone and the person disappointed you. And eventually what happened? You start shrinking. This is a job that you apply for. You were looking for this job. And as soon as you get in that job, it feels like the same time your creativity is no longer there, because you're feeling like an imposter. You're having a lot of thoughts. You're carrying a lot of voices that are telling you, do not trust, right? They're talking about you. You see people in the break room taking their lunch, laughing. You think that, oh, they just talk about you. So you start shrinking. You stop moving. You stop believing in your own ability. You stop believing in your own ways to do things, right? This is what is happening with a lot of people, okay? This is what is happening with a lot of people. And I've known this, I lived it many times. I used to be a chronic starter. So this doesn't mean that this is who you are. Your identity is not the pattern. Neuroplasticity taught us this, right? What you learn can be unlearned and relearned, okay? And the Bible says the same thing as well. Renew your mind. Renew the mind. So when the mind is being renewed, that which did not serve you in the past, you can let go of it. So it means what? That is not your identity. This is not who you are. And that's what I've noticed while I've coached a lot of people. Okay, there are two types of people. And I hope, and even according to the statistics, why we have at least 96 to 98% of people, okay? There are 96 to, let's see, I'm gonna mute this, thank you. I thought it was a mistake, but it wasn't. Thank you for stopping by, thank you. Now, we have two types of people. We have the chronic starters, the one that I used to be part of, and we have the finishers. We have the chronic starters, and we have the finishers. Now, chronic starters, who are the chronic starters? Let's talk about those ones. And let me know, even before we talk about it, how many times have you said, I am going to go to the gym, let's say at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you wake up at 7 and you never go? Okay, that's the first thing. Or a chronic starter is this person. They wake up, they said, I'm gonna go to the gym at 5 o'clock. They did follow through. They woke up in the morning, went to the gym at 5 o'clock. The next day, they end up not going. And then the third day, they said, I'm gonna start over. This is what a chronic starter is. But let's dive in a little bit deeper, okay? Chronic starters, they have great intentions. Great intention, great ideas, they have big dreams. But what happened is this: they are not able to follow through. What is the intention? You have great intention. Great intention. You have great ideas. Right? But when it comes to execution, most people are not able to follow through. So they have a very weak follow through, right? That's what the chronic starters are. Now, when we talk about the finishers, they learn how to follow through. Please listen, it's called learn how to follow through. The same way you learn not to follow through is the same way you will learn how to follow through. It doesn't just establish itself like that. Everything is about learning. Everything is about letting your brain know that we are doing things in a different way. So they learn to follow through, not about being perfect, not about being a perfect person, right? But people who learn how to trust themselves again. In the process, you're learning how to trust yourself again. And over time, this is very important. You're going to tell yourself, you become passionate about helping the things that you do. Passion comes along the way. Nobody starts with the passion first. While you're doing it, it follows the result that you're seeing. Because life changes when you finally follow through. Our life changes when you finally follow through. For those who are just joining, welcome. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about why you keep starting over, okay? Why you keep starting over and how to stop starting over. But that's what we're talking about. For those who are rewatching this, we're talking about why you don't trust yourself, why you keep starting over, and how to stop starting over. Okay? Any questions so far about this? Welcome to those who are just joining. Welcome to those who are watching on the live. Thank you so much. Very good. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow, Mohammed. Thank you. Okay. Now, let me see if there's any question here. Okay, no question. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now, I want to show you what actually changed a chronic starter, what helped me to stop being a chronic starter, okay? If you want to know, put 1 in the chat. What helped me to stop being a chronic starter, right? And this is some of the works that I did with my clients to help them break out of that pattern of starting over and over again. What helps, how you can become a finisher, break out of the chronic starter level is this, because this has to stop. If you keep repeating, that's why most of you, even though you are living in the present, most of you, you're stuck in the past. A lot of people are still repeating their old years. A lot of people are repeating 2020, 2021, 2022, and all these things, right? So right now we are in 2026, which is the present year. But most of you, you are either in the past or you are either in the future. Okay? Most of you, you are either in the past or you are in the future. Now remember, the past is what? Is the memory. The past is the record. The future is the illusion. What matters is the now moment, is the present moment. Okay? The present moment. This is what is happening to a lot of people. If you want to get to the future is built from the present. But a lot of people do not get this yet. You think that as you go in the past, what you're forgetting is this. One thing that most people are forgetting is this. Whenever you find yourself in the past, because there is no life in the past. In the past is the things that have happened to you. Yesterday, somebody's asking me, so is it that does the brain only holds record of the negative things? That's not what it is. The brain holds record of everything. But the negative one looks like is a negative one because of the way that the one that is dominant. So that's the one that the brain end up responding to. So if you have practiced many times of not showing up, what the brain will bring to you is the one that is dominant. So then in that moment, the conversation or the word that is playing over and over is what? This person never shows up. That's what the brain will hold up about you. Okay? Now, chronic starters. Why is it that chronic starters, they stay stuck? Let's talk about this. Why is it that people stay stuck? And let me give you an example. Okay? Why is it that people stay stuck? Let's say early in the morning, you went for a walk, like I like to do, and on your way, you saw a $5 bill. Nobody was there. You're like, hey, God has given me $5. So what did you do? You got closer to take the $5. Then you notice that, oh, actually, the $5 is under a rock. Okay? But you're someone, you're very persistent. So you didn't want to leave it there. You're like, okay, well, let me wiggle it so that it can come out of the rock, under the rock. So what happened? When you were going to take the $5, you wiggle it in the wrong way. You only got half of the $5 in your hand. Half of the $5. So the other $5 got stuck under the rock, right? If you take that money to the grocery store, okay, to get something, do you think you'll be able to get whatever you want to buy with that $5? Is it $5? Yes. But is it a whole $5? No. It's just part of the money. right? This is what happens with a lot of people. See, you know you are capable. You know your value. You know that which you're capable of doing. But you are moving, being stuck. Even though you're walking, we all see you, but you're stuck. So even though you're holding the $5 in your hand, you have the $5, it's only part of it. It's partial, $5. It's not the whole thing. Only when you step into your fullness, that's when you can fully move into your potentials. And that's, you know, the exact same thing. That's why you're getting frustrated. Okay? Most people don't fail because they lack potentials. Most people don't fail because they lack potentials. A lot of people, they fail because they keep becoming the same version of themselves, the one that is stuck under the rock. Okay? And I think I need to say that to those who are just joining. Most people do not fail because they lack potentials. A lot of people fail because they keep becoming or repeating the old version, the same version of themselves, the old version of themselves. Okay? Just think about it in a moment. So maybe right now you feel stuck. What is the one moment? Let's do this. Sorry. I think I tapped something. What is this? Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What was that? Did you guys hear it? It was like a loud scream. Okay, let's go. Technical. Okay, let's fix it. Fix. Okay. And this will even lead me to see, is there any question? Okay, let's go. Right? So most people don't get stuck because they're lazy, because they don't know their potentials. It's because you keep becoming the old version of yourself. You get excited, you want to change, but eventually the same version of you shows up. You told yourself this month things are going to be different. Every single month at the beginning of the new month, you have a new goal. It's not about goal. It's not about setting a new plan. It's nothing about that. It's because of what you are identifying yourself with. So this is very important. If you're watching the live right now and you're asking yourself, why is it hard to change? Why do I keep repeating all the whys that you have because of the pattern that you've seen? It's because it's hard for you to break out of the one you have identified yourself with. Okay? You want to change, but eventually the same version of you shows up. The version that delays, that version that overthinks, that version that quits, that version that says tomorrow, that version that says, I'm going to start on Monday, I'm going to start on Tuesday, I'm going to start tomorrow. All these versions of you, they are the old ones. So you repeat the brain repeats what is familiar. The brain keeps repeating what is familiar. That's what the brain does. The same as the nervous system, that's what the brain does. It doesn't move based on what you desire. A desire is not real. It's just a desire. So what the brain does is this. The brain will only bring to you what is familiar. And in that moment, what is familiar for the brain is something like this. What is familiar is this person never shows up fully. They might be working, but they are also listening to a music. They might be working, but they are also scrolling on internet. So these things, you think we are just doing it, but this is the language. That's the procrastination language right there. You are there physically, but mentally, emotionally, you are not there. Okay? Mentally, emotionally, you are not there. So this is something interesting happens in the mind. When we talk about procrastination, it's not happening outside. You're just seeing the results. Now, let me take you deeper. If you want to know deeper, put deeper in the chat. Very good. I see it coming through. Yes, put deeper in the chat. If you want to dive in deeper, put deeper in the chat. The key to self-improvement, the key to self-empowerment is self-awareness. Okay? Yes, deeper. That's what I'm talking about. The key to self-improvement, GG, the key to self-empowerment and all that is self-awareness. But there's something interesting that is happening in the mind that most people are not aware of. Now, when you find yourself now showing up, you know what it is. And as you know, the goal is not just to know. I'm also going to give you some tools that are going to help you. And this is where we are diving in right now. Okay? Your brain notices what feels familiar. Let me give you an example. Let's say you just bought a car, and then suddenly you see that car everywhere. Or maybe you haven't bought the car, but you just thought about, okay, I would love to have a red Toyota. Okay? You just thought about it. Right there, what you did is this. Your brain will start bringing your attention, your awareness onto what you just mentioned. This is the same reason why usually visualization is supposed to work, because you're giving a task to the brain to focus on. It's called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system helps you to narrow your focus on one thing. Yes, right? I will tell you a story. One day, my child was writing a book. He was going for a kids entrepreneurship event. And the people that are doing the event, they sent an email. They wanted to know, what does he want to, what is he presenting? And what does he want to call, how does he want to call whatever he's presenting? I keep touching the wrong thing. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, my people. So he was writing a book, okay? And they said, what is the name of your company? And he said, Brooks Company. I'll be like, wait, what do you mean Brooks? Okay, he's 7 years old. What do you mean Brooks? We are not Brooks. So, but he did that because books and Brooks. But do you know, right after that conversation, the next day when we were on the highway, before getting on the highway, we saw at least things that talk about Brooks. We saw Brooks Highway, we saw Brooks Street, everything turned into Brooks. That is the work of the brain. So if you do not train the brain to help you to be focused on the journey, whatever you feed the brain, that's what the brain will present to you. Whatever you tell the brain, that's what the brain will give back to you. Okay? Nature is the best place for us to learn. Nature, everything that surrounds us, is the place to learn. You see that? You cannot plant an orange seed hoping to get what? An apple, mango, anything like that. You only get what you've sown. It's the same thing. So if you're feeding your brain with negative words, or you start believing that I procrastinate, I do this. Yes, it's awareness, but what are you using to change that? Most people, and this is what I've noticed as a coach, a lot of people desire to change, but nobody takes action to change. How do I know this? Not only have I coached people that were stuck in their desire, but I used to live in that desire as well. I was only desiring because I knew so well whenever I desire, this is what happened. Whenever you desire a change, you know what happened? It's follow here. I've had people on my live where they said, Coach, I am ready. Let's do it. You know what they're doing in that moment? That moment, what they're doing is they're allowing motivation to kick in. And motivation doesn't take you far. The farthest that motivation will take some of you is 3 days. So so you intentionally jumpstart yourself every single time by saying, Coach, I am ready for a change. But you saying, I am ready for your change, is just you tingling your senses, okay? It's just you, how do we say that? Playing with your senses so that you can feel like you're doing something. This is why a lot of people are stuck with all the potentials that they have, okay? So what is happening is, it's not because out of nowhere, that red car that you want to buy is coming from nowhere. No. It's because your brain started noticing it. You said it, you thought about it, the brain grabbed that. So do you see how quick our brain can grab something? So if you're patient with yourself enough, a lot of people, they quit before they see results because they have repeated a pattern of not showing up, and they don't understand that it takes work. So let me tell you, whenever we are going to work together, or whenever I'm going to coach you, it takes work. The first work that you're going to tell yourself to do is, I'm going to show up no matter what. It's whether it breaks or it breaks or it breaks or it breaks, I'm going to show up. And 50 Cent will say this, right? Die hard trying. Die hard. Or is that the right one? Maybe I didn't say it right, but you know what I mean. Try hard. Let me look it up. Try hard while, if you know, please put it in the chat. If you know this, please put it in the chat. I know some of you know it. Let me see. I always want to tell the truth, right? While trying. 50 cents, 50. Yo, let's go. What did he say? If I don't get him, he said, work hard or die trying. Work hard or die trying. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Exactly that. So when we are going to work, this is what it is, right? The first thing, the first work that you're telling yourself is this. I'm going to show up even if I don't feel like it. Because what you're doing in that moment is you're establishing the self-trust. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Most of you right now, you are giving the permission yourself to keep repeating the same pattern over and over again. So once you tell yourself we are doing things in a different way, the reticular activating system was intentionally put in you to help you focus and clear out every distraction. And clear out every distraction along the way. So your brain started noticing everything that you planted inside of it. Okay, your brain will notice every part of it. Your brain notices what it has learned to prioritize. So right now, I'm going to ask you this. What is that one thing you want to prioritize in this season of your life? Please put it in the chat. If you're watching this on a replay, please do the same thing. It's very important. When it's just here, sometimes it will just stay there. The brain notices when you're taking action. So I'm going to ask this right now. What is that one thing that you told yourself you're going to prioritize in this season of your life? What is that one thing? For me, I have a lot, but that one thing is what? Being able to go for my morning walk. And I'm glad I said that. So what I'm teaching you, I'm leading you into how to become a finisher, not a chronic starter. For those who are just joining, we're talking about why you don't trust yourself, okay? Why you don't trust yourself anymore and how to stop starting over. And there are two types of people. We have what? My prayer life. I tell you, Jocelyn, yes, ma'am. I'm going to give you some tips that are going to help you, okay? We have two types of people. We are the chronic starters and the finishers. The chronic starters, this is what they do. They have great intentions, right? But they never stick around to follow through. They are very harsh on themselves, the chronic starters. They are not gentle. They are not compassionate toward themselves. And this is coming from what they have heard before. Now the finishers, what do? They know how to work with they know how to intentionally activate their reticular activating system in order to stay focused. One person just said they want to prioritize their prayer life. That is so important, something great to prioritize. And I used to struggle with this, by the way. Okay? I used to struggle with this, by the way. Now, let me give you this, Jocelyn. Good. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Now, a quick answer will be this, Jocelyn. If you're struggling with your prayer life, let me ask you, I need to be careful with this. What templates are you following? What templates are you following? If you're struggling with your prayer life, what templates are you following? For anyone struggling with a specific thing, what templates are you following? And I'm glad you said that. Please put it in the chat as we continue to teach, okay? I'm going to show you something that is going to help you. Right now, I'm teaching you how the reticular activating system will help you to clear out every distraction, okay? So whenever you said you're going to buy the red car, automatically, every other car is non-existent. Every car is becoming red on the way. Okay, because that's the technique that God has put in you so that you can bring into your awareness, so that you can quicken that which is already in the spiritual realm, that which God has prepared for you. That's what the purpose of the reticular activating system, that's what it is there for. So your brain notices what it has learned to prioritize. And what did you prioritize in the season of your life? Are you able to make it happen? Are you struggling to make it happen? Okay. And this really matters, because if disappointment becomes familiar, your mind notices reasons to quit. So if you're asking yourself, thank you for the light, why is it hard to change? If you're asking yourself, why do I keep repeating the same thing? So the brain might just be used to what? Disappointment. So if disappointment is the familiar language that is written in the brain, that is anchored in the brain, your mind will do what? The mind will notice the reason for you to quit. It will keep bringing every single reason. Okay? Let's say, for instance, at work, you already told yourself you're going to quit this job because you feel like they are not paying you well enough. Okay? We've all been there before. Have you been there before? Have you been in a workplace where you're like, these people, they are not valuing me with all that I know? Not only are they asking me to train someone, but they are paying the person more than they're paying me. It's funny, I didn't know this. The first time I came to the US, I was working at a bank. And here I am telling the person that trained me how much I got paid. And there was somebody else that was sitting by me. She's like, you don't say this like that, right? I'm like, wait. I thought I was just being, like open. She's like, you don't tell people like that, because she's getting paid less than you're getting paid, but she trained you. Okay. So if you've been in a situation like that where you're like, I got all these potentials, I'm training them, okay, but they're paying me less. So like you already have all the reasons to quit. You have that in your mind because you're disappointed. The brain will start bringing to you the things that will definitely make you to act upon that decision. You know what it will start happening? You start showing up late. The things that you enjoy before at work, you start hating them. You start pulling yourself emotionally from the workplace. So the brain brings to us that which is familiar. Okay? Your mind will notice every little thing. Maybe at a workplace, people are in their break room, they are having fun. They're like, yes, that's them. They're criticizing me because you're giving enough reason for the brain to help you to quit. So if fear becomes familiar, okay, if fear became familiar, what will happen? Your mind notices danger. All this familiarity that I'm talking about, remember I talked about the past and the future? Okay, this is the present, and that's where the gap is. Most people, they are not here in the present. This is the gap. So a lot of people are in the past or in the future, not in the present. You're supposed to be here. Now, the past or the future, I'm going to draw this to you so that you can see. By the way, if you want to learn how to live an unstuck life, please put unstuck in the chat. If you want to learn how to live an unstuck life, please put unstuck in the chat. Okay? If you want to live a life of unstuck, put unstuck in the chat. I just want to make sure that I'm talking to the right people. I want to make sure that I'm talking to my people that are exhausted from repeating the same pattern over and over again. So if you want to if you want to live an unstuck life, filled with potentials, not just knowing about the potentials, but you are acting upon the potentials, put unstuck in the chat. Okay, put unstuck in the chat. Now, this is what is happening here. Very good. Unstuck. I see the 1%. I see the 1% of people. You don't want to be part of the 99% of people. Come to the part where you want to leave the unstuck. Good job. Good job. It's coming in. Yes, yes, yes. Unstuck. I see it. Very good. Unstuck, unstuck, unstuck. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now, The first circle that I drew here, and everything here, by the way, is the negative things that are happening in the past that are keeping you stuck, okay? Very good. This is the shame. And this is fear. And this is where your decisions that you're making, they're coming from. Your mind will notice danger because fear became familiar to your mind, okay? If failure became familiar, you know what will happen? Your mind notices proof you should stop. Are you following here? You've ever asked yourself, why is it hard for me to show up? It's because the mind has already interpreted failure. So for the mind, because the mind has already seen some routine that is leading to what? Failure, the mind will interpret that because the mind has enough proof and will tell you to stop. Okay? This is why chronic starters stay stuck. This is why chronic starters stay stuck, because the mind has built enough proof to keep you staying at the same place. Okay? It's because your nervous system, because your system keeps recognizing the old version that never showed up fully, the old version that never followed through, the old version that overthinks, the old version. So the mind has built enough proof. Welcome, Suleiman. The mind has built enough proof, and that is the proof that is keeping you stuck. Your system keeps recognizing the old version of you. Okay? Now, the difference between remember, we have two types of people. We have the chronic starters and we have what? The finishers. Now, the finishers, they do something different. They do things in a different way. What do? They tell this to themselves. They know that things establish itself over time. Okay? And this is the same routine that I found with the people, that the same pattern that keeps establishing itself in the ones that have developed this pattern of not showing up. The finishers, what they do is this. They actually follow through. Finishers, they follow through. Finishers, they don't quit. Finishers, they understood or they understand something like this, right? Even if I have set my goal, life will happen sometimes. It doesn't mean I have to stop. A pause is not a solid stop. Do you see that? So the finishers, they know how to follow through. They do few things in a different way. And I call this the finisher process, right? Now, they know how to slow down. They know how to roll through life by slowing down. The chronic starters, they are afraid to slow down. Chronic starters, they are afraid to slow down. They are afraid to slow down because if they slow down, they know that slowing down means what? They're gonna stop. So they are functioning through life with a big dysregulation. They are running. They are not present. Again, they are stuck in the past. So their action is being conditioned by the past. So they don't have any time to wait to slow down. So the finishers, they slow down. They want to notice the things that are around them because they are grounded in them. They do not react. They are not easily overwhelmed. They don't overwhelm themselves. They know how to regulate. And this is very important. Why, you may want to know, right? You cannot build consistency from survival mode. You cannot build consistency from survival mode. You cannot build consistency from survival mode. Yes, you have that goal that you want to reach. But what you're forgetting is the person that needs to take you to that place has to be regulated. Okay? An overwhelmed mind struggles to follow through. So when your mind is carrying a lot, when your mind is stuck in this place of being afraid, you cannot see the result that you want the way it's supposed to be. And finishers mentally rehearse completion. They rehearse completion. They are not in a fantasy world. They rehearse how the step that they need to follow through in order to do this. Okay? And this is the same technique that actually they follow through, by the way. Before they go to play, before they go or they show up on the day of the play or whatever it is, the game, rather, they have to see themselves doing it first. Actually, they do this all the time. They see themselves crossing the line. They see themselves showing up. They see themselves finishing. They see themselves smelling the grass, okay? People that play soccer and all those things. They see themselves before they show up physically. Your brain moves toward what feels familiar. So you need to train your brain before you show up. And I've taught this many times on my life, where thank you so much, learn to celebrate your small wins. By celebrating the small win, what do? You do this in front of the mirror. While you're doing it in front of the mirror, the brain is thinking, the brain can tell the difference between what is rehearsed and what is real. I need to explain this to someone. Your brain cannot tell the difference between what is rehearsed and what is real. So you might be saying, oh, I'm just making a joke calling myself stupid. The brain can tell that you're making a joke. The same technique that is keeping you stuck is the same technique that will get you unstuck. Do you see that? A knife has two sides, right? We can use a knife to cut, to cook. And unfortunately, while you're cutting to cook, that knife can also hurt your finger. It depends on what you're using it for. So what am I teaching you here? I'm teaching you a technique that is going to get a lot of people unstuck. But this is the thing, though. Please, I need to say this. Most of you like to binge on information. Right now, you don't need a lot of information. You have gotten enough information to start applying it. Even if you don't come in my coaching session to work with me, I am happy that I've given you enough of things. These are the things that my clients pay for. These are the things that help me as well. And this is why in my coaching session, not only do I lead you to regulation, because I understand that consistency cannot be built from survival. So when we are working, I lead you into that place. I teach you the techniques that are going to keep you regulated all the time. By the way, regulation is as simple as what? Intentionally creating a pause in your daily activity in order to connect to your body. You're living survival because you're stuck in your head. You're living survival because you're stuck in the past. So when you're in the past, the brain is not connected. The brain is not present. You're not present in your body. Most people are stuck in the past, or they are living in the illusion. So your brain moves toward what feels familiar. And what feels familiar can even come from the things that you rehearse in many ways. For those who are just joining, welcome to the live. What are we doing? What are we talking about? We are talking about why you don't trust yourself anymore and how to stop starting over. Okay? The reason why you're not trusting yourself is because the brain, you're giving enough information to the brain that the brain is not trusting you. Now, is there a way that you can unlearn and redo all this? Yes. But before you can redo all this, tell yourself to be compassionate toward yourself. Because most people that have repeated patterns like this, they want to see a result in one day. It never happened. It is not possible. If you're watching a live that somebody tells you, you're going to see the results in one day, this is why you're setting yourself up for failure. Motivation, people like holding on to motivation. That's why whenever they tell you you're going to see a result in one day, is it possible? Is it possible? No. It will awaken the desire for it, but a tangible result shouldn't take one day. That pattern that you have built, it took you 20 years. The pattern of inconsistency, the pattern of what? Not showing up, the pattern of starting strong and ghosting on yourself, the pattern of overthinker, it wasn't built in one day. So what makes you think that you can undo it in one day? Okay, so that's the part that most people don't think about. Now, The finishers, I'm still teaching you about how to become a finisher and that how this can be anchored in your system. The finishers, they see themselves showing up before they show up. By the way, this is what helps me. Whenever I said I am going to read a book, and I know I've been struggling with that in the past or something like that, throughout the day, I have to start seeing myself in a specific place, sitting in that spot. So everything is done mentally. When you're doing that mentally, you know what you're doing? It's being done spiritually. So all your five senses, the physical five senses, you also have the spiritual five senses. Because it's through that five senses that will happen. Your past is being communicated to you. It's the same thing. Let's continue. The finishers, we're talking about the finishers. The finishers, they see themselves finishing. Your brain moves toward what is familiar. So if quitting feels familiar to you, that's the language that the brain will play back to you. If follow through becomes familiar, you will move differently. Okay? If follow through becomes familiar, you're going to start moving differently. That is why confidence is not from the outside. Confidence is the inside. If you know that you are that type of person that always follows through, your body posture is not gonna be like this. The reason why the posture becomes like this is because you already see yourself as the one that never followed through. So you're carrying shame in your body. When you come in my coaching session, I take you deeper where we're going to start working on the regulating your nervous system, which also reflects on the way you show up. Confidence, you don't pretend to be confident. You become confidence. Okay? Confidence is a state of being, not pretending. Most people are pretending. That's why when nobody is there to clap for you, you go in your house. Now you're facing the reality. Okay? So you cannot consistently follow through. If you don't follow through, this is the language that is even showing in your body. And remember, I told you the body holds memory. Someone wrote a book that said the body keeps the score. This is one of the books you should read. And if you don't feel like you have time to read, it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. Okay? And that's how I read it, by the way. What I'm teaching you is very powerful. In a way where even when I told you that that's how I read it, you know what I did? While I was listening to it, because there is this guilt that comes with the fact that, okay, listening is not the same as reading. And you're right. But do you know what you can also do? While you're listening, you engage your reticular activating system. You see yourself reading the exact word that you're listening. So when you're listening to the audio book, let's say, for instance, the person is saying what? Why you don't trust yourself. So you read out loud with the person and you see yourself opening a book to read that. Oh my goodness. You see yourself. I'm giving you guys too much. If this is helping someone on the live, put in yes. Put in yes. If this is helping you, if you're getting enough of revelation, if I can put it that way, that is helping you, put yes in the chat. Very good, very good. Put yes in the chat. If you're getting enough information, put yes in the chat. Put yes in the chat if this is helping you. Very good. Keep them coming in. Keep them coming in. Yes, yes, yes. Put yes in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad it is helping you, right? I'm glad this is helping you. Very good. Keep them coming in. Good job. Because I want to know I'm talking to the right people. I want to know that you're getting something from this. You don't want to be that person who hop from life to life. You're only, you keep letting motivation to kick in and that's it. Nothing will change if you don't put a guideline around your mind. Your mind will be open to everything. Okay? So that finishers, they know how to realign themselves. Something that I believe is this, is that fear is not your original identity. And please follow me here. We are diving deeper. Fear is not your identity. Quitting is not your identity. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying all this. Fear is not your identity. Quitting is not your identity. Staying stuck It's not your identity. Okay? You were created in the image and the likeness of God. And we know that God, if you're created in the image and the likeness of God, it means what? You're carrying the attributes of God. You're holding the attributes of God. So quitting is never part of God, so it shouldn't be in you. Right now, you have the wrong model that you're living by. So you think that because the brain has that record about you, you believe that's who you are. So you might even say things like this, oh, I easily quit. What you're forgetting is, as you say it, it's going where? It's coming back to you in your ear. What is it doing? It's preparing yourself, it's preparing you to see the exact result that you told yourself that you are. You see that? So quitting is not your identity. Staying stuck definitely is not your identity. It's not your original identity. You were created in the image and the likeness of God. And that is the truth. And that's how I've always lived my life. Okay? That's how I've always lived my life. Because I believe it. This has been my guideline. This has been my blueprint for many years. And this is how I also coach my clients to get unstuck. So if you're made in the image and the likeness of God, there is a blueprint for you who were created to become. Within the image and the likeness of God, there is what? Your blueprint. I know most of you right now on my live, you've heard this before. I need to drink water. It's needed. Woo! I can go another 10 hours. Let's go, my people. Okay? So, this is the thing. You are not in the image of fear. Within the image and the likeness of God, there is your blueprint. I know most of you, you've heard this before, right? Where you've been told maybe at church, you're ready. I am made in the image and the likeness of God. But how does it sit with you? If you only believe that you're made in the image and the likeness of God, you know what you're doing? Your uniqueness will not be seen. You will become one with the crowd. If you just believe that you're the image and the likeness of God, and that's it, you become one with the crowd. You are the one that believe that you're the image and the likeness of God. And when people were telling you, okay, if you're the image and the likeness of God, become like one of us. So you started believing that. You started shedding away. You started changing your colors. And then you lost your uniqueness. You lost your blueprints. I know I've lost some of you already. It is okay. But I'm going to clarify it to those who are still on the live. What do I mean by if you only believe that you are the image and the likeness of God? There is a difference between knowing and being. So most of you right now, you know, but you are not being. But guess what? We are human being, not human knowing. We are human being. So you do know that you are the image and the likeness of God. After that, what else do you know about that? Have you sat with it? So within the image and the likeness of God, there is your blueprints, your uniqueness, the person that you are. This is the work that we go through because most of you, you are moving from the wrong identity. You are moving from shame. Shame is telling you how you're supposed to live, right? Shame is telling you how you're supposed to live. Oh, I need to buy new ones. Okay? Shame, hopefully the third one will work. It works. Shame is telling you how you're supposed to live. Fear is telling you how you're supposed to live. The job that you need to apply for. Okay? The ones that you shouldn't apply for. So everything is coming from what is familiar. You are not trying to become someone random. You are reconnecting with who fear disconnected you from. That is what I call the identity blueprint. Most people, they think this has been dominant in the manifestation world, okay? And this is why a lot of people, you're stuck as well. Because you've been told that, right, what? Manifest your future self. You are now manifesting your future self. You see, before the chaos, before the shame, before the fear, before the anything negative that you want to get rid of, there was you, the image and the likeness of God, the blueprint, your identity blueprint was there. You did not just come like that. So before being part of a family that they didn't value you, before all those things, you were, rather, I would say. So most of you, you're struggling right now to manifest your future self because the brain is trying to see that person, but whenever the brain is trying to see that which is familiar, automatically the brain is leading you into failure because the brain can only bring to you what is familiar. You see what I'm saying? So you are reconnecting with who. Now, what are we doing here? This is not a random work. This is not a random work. This is an invitation to do what? To reconnect with who fear has disconnected you from. The person that shame has disconnected you from. The person that overthinking has disconnected you from. The person that broken relationships has disconnected you from. And that is what I call the identity blueprint. And I've said that. Okay? And this is why it has been known, or I have called this identity blueprint. It's not about perfection. It's about aligning yourself. It's not about perfection, but it's about aligning yourself. And how do you do this? Taking small action. You don't want to start at once. You don't want to overload yourself. And this is what I've seen people do as well, where they overload themselves because they have had, now they feel like I should have been this place right now, but I have wasted my time. I remember people that come in my coaching session, they will tell me, Coach, I have wasted my time. I should have been here. But here I am. When I look back, I have nothing to prove. So they want to catch up. You want to catch up, but if you had what it takes to do it in the past, why didn't you do it? And then you're going to keep digging the same hole, and you find yourself going deeper and deeper. So it starts with a small step. Little by little, this is what it is. Now, that's the difference between the finisher and the chronic starter. A chronic starter becomes a finisher when they have the right information and they have applied themselves to it. They return to the self-trust. Right now, you are not showing up because you do not trust yourself. Confidence returns. We hold confidence. We don't pretend that we are confident. People will tell you fake it until you make it. You can pretend confidence. Confidence will take you to that job. Confidence will even give you the position on that in that company. But self-esteem will make you quit in 1 month. Because if you don't have the self-esteem, this is what happened. You're going to feel like an imposter. You know why you're feeling like an imposter? Because you don't have the self-esteem. So the confidence will get you to the room, but the conversation that you're having in your head, which is coming from your self-esteem, may tell you are not in the right place. Let us go. We're not supposed to be here. Let's run, let's run, let's run. And that's what may be happening to most of you right now. I just pressed something else again. Oh my goodness. This is what happened when you have a screen touch. Everything just like opening. Okay. So this might just be what is happening to most of you. So for those who are just joining, welcome to the live. Those who are watching this on a replay, welcome to the live. What are we talking about? Why you don't trust yourself anymore and how to stop starting over. If you've been here from the beginning, I've given you some things that will help you, some tools that will help you. But we can't just share everything on live, okay? Not everything can be shared on live. This is why, for some of you, you might need to get a coach. This is why for some of you, you might need to find someone, an accountability partner. The reason why this keeps happening, or it looks like you keep repeating the same pattern, is because you don't have any structure. You're telling yourself, I'm going to figure it out. But how many times haven't you tried by yourself and never figure it out yet? While you're being stuck trying to figure it out, the years are piling up. The days are passing by, months, and then years. And then you are here. 2027 will show up again. And what will happen? The same old you will tell you how to move through 2027. I remember when I used to not to look forward to a new year, because I know that it's not because people are telling me Happy New Year that the year is going to be new. It's not because people are saying, oh my goodness, this year is going to be different for you, or that is going to be different. I need to bring myself into that newness by the decision that I'm making, by how consistent I show up. Okay? Most of you, or most of us, we hear testimonies of people, but it's because these people have applied themselves so that they can find a result. Okay? So we are talking about why you keep starting over and how to finally follow through. Because in a minute, I want to show you what actually changes when someone becomes a finisher. For those who are joining, you may have missed that part of it. And this is what changes. What changes is this: you stop disappearing on yourself. Thank you for the like. You stop disappearing on yourself. You stop restarting over. You stop starting over every Monday. Keep thanking you, Coach Sheffy, for making yourself available always. I love you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for saying this. Thank you. Okay, so this is what is going to happen when we work together, or when a finisher process, you finally have this. You will stop disappearing on yourself. You stop restarting every single day. You stop restarting every Monday. You stop emotionally abandoning yourself. Most of you right now, you are emotionally abandoning yourself. Okay? You're going to stop breaking promises to yourself. Because anytime you tell yourself, I'm going to show up, you don't show up, your brain is fighting that against you. And that's why you do not have a self-trust. You can trust everybody else, but you yourself, you can trust in this moment. That's why it's very easy when to show up for other people but yourself. So you're going to stop breaking promises to yourself. You're going to stop quitting when things get uncomfortable. And for the first time, you trust yourself truly. You trust yourself the way it's supposed to be. And this is what changes everything. This is what changes everything. This is what most people need to get. And this is what a lot of people don't have yet, right? And that's why you might just be stuck in this moment. So put in the chat if you're tired of living a stuck life. Put in the chat if you're tired. For those who are going to watch this on a replay, put in the chat if you're tired of living a stuck life. Because this year, nothing changes if you do not change. Nothing changes if you don't. If, for instance, if I say, let's say that the schedule that I have right now, I love following that schedule. Nothing will change because I love it. You see that? Thank you for the follow, my dear friend. Nothing will change because I love it. So if you're really tired of living the same life and seeing the same results over and over again, right? Put it in the chat and let us know that you are tired and ready to get unstuck, okay? That you're ready to get unstuck. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Okay, by the way, if you want to watch this on a replay, you know where to go. You know where replays are. I can't say this on TikTok, of course. When you go on that, you put in reset with Coach Sheffy. 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 Let's go, let's go. Yes, let's keep them coming in. Very good. Let's go. Reset with Coach Sheffy. I can see you all. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now, let's go on the next one. For those who said reset with Coach Sheffy, this is the place that you want to be. We need to stop binging on what? On information and start moving. Most of you, what you need in this moment is not motivation. You do not need motivation. Okay? You do not need motivation. You do not need information, right? And let me give you this example that I love to give so much. Let's say you have been eating for 3 days or for a week. and you never went to release yourself, what will happen? Of course, you are going to be constipated. So most of you in this moment, you are loaded with information. Being loaded with information by itself is going to keep you stuck. Being loaded with information by itself is going to keep you stuck. So all this information that you have, they have to come out in a way, okay? Now, oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So people think that they have discipline problem. I've thought that myself. A lot of people think they need motivation, they need discipline. But usually what is happening is this. It's deeper than motivation. It's deeper than anything else that you've been told. Okay? It's deeper than what you thought. And I put it here earlier. Let me put this again. Please, I am not an artist, so bear with me. If you see the circle looking funny, hey, let's go, my people. You see that? So shame, fear, and I can also add one more. You can just keep adding. What is the other one? Doubt, rejection, all these things. Okay, so that's what it is. It's deeper than motivation, it's deeper than discipline. It's what? It's fear. It's fear. Okay, it's shame. It's the amount of time that you've broken trust to yourself. It is the disappointment. Okay, it's the disappointment. It is the doubt. And I've worked with people who look strong on the outside, high achievers. Most of them, they are high achievers, very smart, high achievers. They look strong on the outside, so they can fool everybody, but they cannot fool themselves. Okay, so these people, they look strong on the outside, but in the inside, they are crumbling. In the inside, they are exhausted. People that are constantly restarting. Okay, people who constantly restart their life, restart their goal. And people like this, you know what? They have at least 10 to 15 unfinished journals in their homes. So every single time, this is what they're going to tell themselves. Oh, maybe I need a new journal. Maybe I need a new journal. Maybe I need a new journal. Because you think the goal there is so that you don't keep feeling like, okay, you're starting over. So any new journal is what? For you, it means a new beginning. Any new journal for you, it means a new beginning. So you're going for the journals, buying them over and over. Let me tell you, I used to do this. So it's not just you. It is not just you. I used to do it. Okay, so please shake that feeling off of your back right now and tell yourself you're at the right place. Okay, you are definitely at the right place. You are not just being told the things that are happening, but you're also getting the tools to break out of that place. It's very important. Okay, so people like this, they are privately exhausted. People who constantly start over, get all the journals, buy the books, listen to the podcast, did everything, right? And people like this, they overthought everything. People who quietly felt ashamed. People who, because every time they stop, it confirmed their story. Every time they pause, they don't treat a pause as a pause. They treat a pause as a stop. So every time they stop, it confirmed their story, right? Maybe something is wrong with me. You're going to say, what is wrong with me? Maybe something is wrong with me because this is not normal. Other people are doing it. But why is it that I can follow through? Why is it that when it comes to my turn, things are hard? And this is the language that you might be keep playing in your head over and over. But once we slow things down, once you understand the pattern, once you stop blaming yourself, everything starts changing. And that's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. So let me tell you, I work with one of my clients where he was constantly restarting every single Monday. Every Monday, this person will tell you, okay, I'm going to start over. Okay, I'm going to start over. The new planner, my client had it. New motivation, binging on motivation, the same cycle. But what we discovered was this. As we were working together, this is what we discovered. He thought he was lazy, by the way, because that's the quickest things that we all talk about, because that's what we've been told, right? He thought he was lazy, but what we discovered was this. It wasn't laziness. My client has stopped trusting himself. He stopped trusting himself long time ago. And this lack of self-trust happened when this person was in high school. Okay? So he stopped trusting himself a long time ago. And once we started rebuilding that, the self-trust, step by step, my clients started following through. It's not about perfection. Nobody becomes perfection before they start. Perfection, we become perfection on the way of doing. So small, step by step, he started following through. Not perfectly, but consistency. Showing up even when you don't feel like it. Showing up even when it's raining. Showing up even when things are like, no, this is not how it's supposed to be. You keep showing up. Okay? And I also remember another client that I worked with, and this person took advantage, came in through the journal, because I have a journal where when if you get the journal, the journal will give you access to work with me. So on day 6 of this person writing in the journal, she's like, Coach, I want to start over. Please, the brain is so smart, man. Because her deadline to follow through is day 6. Okay? So the brain was already making suggestions for her not to show up or not to follow through. She said, Coach, I feel like I wasn't doing the writing well. I need to start over. I need to start over. And I told her, no, you don't have to start over. And I walked her through what is happening. The brain was built around her showing up consistently. Thank you so much for the share. Showing up consistently for day 6. And day 6 that's how she goes back to start over. So before day 6, the brain was already making suggestions. And these suggestions came in as, oh, you were supposed to write this thing that you didn't write. Why don't you do that? Now you're just going to start from there. What about day 1? So I walked her through the process and said, no, it's not about making it perfect, but you're rebuilding self-trust. You're rebuilding self-trust. You're rebuilding self-trust. So now she understood, okay, it's not about perfection, it's about rebuilding self-trust. And I have a lot of examples to give you, right? Because this is the work that I've been doing for a while, so I know how it works like. Okay? There's another client that I work with, and this client, she thought she was going through not showing up consistently. Okay? She looked confident on the outside. A business owner, by the way. Looked confident on the outside. But in the inside, rejection had made her shrink. She was feeling so stuck. She couldn't even suggest things for her employees. So she was stuck, and at the same time, this was happening because she's the boss of the company. So if you feel shrink, how can you suggest things to your employees? That's what she was going through in that moment. And fear kept stopping her. She couldn't suggest anything. She kept being stuck in the same place. And this is what changed. She learned how to slow down. I taught her about the reticular activating system, seeing yourself talking to your employees, coming from a place of being genuine, and even already seeing the reaction from them, and you handle that before you talk to them physically. And you're coming from this place. God that has already, okay, for those who are just joining, this might sound weird for you, but you're coming from the fact that you are made in the image and the likeness of God. And God knows how to communicate his language to his people. So being made in the image and the likeness of God, there should never be a moment where you said, I don't know what to say. That is the old self-talking. So my clients finally learn how to slow down and finally move in a different way. That is why I believe people change. Okay? When people finally understand what has been running them, they can easily change. Because what? Renewal of the mind. Neuroscience has taught us this. Neuroplasticity is like plastic. It stretches itself. Whatever you put in, that's what will come out. So if you don't want to have banana as a harvest, do not plant banana seed. Okay, do not plant banana. If you don't want orange, don't put orange seed in the ground. Okay, this is very important. Now, who do you become? Who do you want to be? Do you want to continuously be the chronic starter or the finisher? Let me answer that for you. I know you want to become the finisher because nobody chooses to be a chronic starter, because that is the comfort zone that we don't want to be in. The comfort zone has kept you stuck, has kept you play below your deserved level for many times, for many years. Okay? You no longer want to be the person that disappears every single time, but the person that follows through. You become someone who follows through. You want to be that person who trusts him or herself. Okay? You want to become that person that moves every single time. You want to become that person that says, if I said I want to do something, I gather all the information that I need. I will not overthink. I will not stay there, be stuck, but I will gradually move toward the result that I deserve. Okay? And this change shows up in every area of your life. It might be your health. It might be what? Your relationship. It might be your business. It might be what? Your faith. You know, somebody just said that they want to improve on their prayer life. It might be confidence because you finally trust yourself again. What part of you right now feels like you're not trusting? What part of your life that you feel like you're not trusting in this moment? What part of it? This is very important. Self-improvement, the key to self-improvement is self-awareness. The key to self-improvement is self-awareness. Okay? The key to self-improvement is self-awareness. Motivation does fade. The most motivation will take you is 3 days. The most motivation takes people is what? 3 days for some people. Think of motivation as that friend who will tell you, if you need something, I'm going to be there. Believe me, we're going to do this. And then you call motivation. Motivation is like, don't call this number no more. That's what motivation is for. Motivation will only start you, but motivation will not keep you. What keeps you on the journey of showing up consistently is never motivation. It's identity restoration. It's your identity, your self-trust. But do you have a record of that yet? Do you have a record of that yet? Motivation fades. So I don't teach motivation, even though naturally I've earned the name, the motivational force. I do not teach motivation. I eventually started as a motivational teacher or speaker. Then I understood that no, it's not about motivation. It's beyond motivation. It's beyond discipline. Then I have to dive deeper and take you deeper. Okay? So I don't teach motivation. This is what it is. I do not teach about motivation. What feels familiar is the RAS, the reticular activating system. Okay? The reticular activating system. Because you cannot consistently perform the version of yourself you believe you are. It's time to break out of that. It's time to step out of that place. So I work with people that are tired of repeating the same pattern over and over again. One day I told myself I was going to go on live at 4 a.m. and I end up not going on live at 4 a.m. because I did not go to bed on time. I woke up at 5 and I was already disappointed in me. So what did I do? I pulled the blanket back on my head. I couldn't sleep. I was there just like murmuring and doing all these things. And you know what? When I went in the bathroom to take a shower, I heard this. I heard this voice. I'm not going to say I heard this voice. The Holy Spirit said, insanity is planning without wisdom. Insanity is planning without wisdom. Most of you right now, you're planning without wisdom. So that's why you keep repeating the old pattern. Okay? So I work with people that have constantly started over, that are starting over and over and over again. People that are chronic starters, if I would call them like that, because I used to be one myself. So I help chronic starters become finishers. This is very important. So some people don't need, like you right now, you don't need more motivation. Now let me tell you about how we can work together. I don't know if you've seen this, by the way. I did put my email here. For anyone that would like to work with me, you can send me an email so that we can work together. But guess what? We have also opened up a group coaching, because I know some of you said, Coach, I want to be part of your coaching session, a group coaching. So I have opened a group coaching for most people that are ready, right? So if you want to work with me, send me the DM info@coachsheffy.com. This is what it is. This will give you the opportunity to also have a moment with me for us to identify the pattern that is happening. Because most of you right now, what is happening is you're repeating this pattern of you don't have a structure. So you're just throwing the spaghetti on the wall, hoping that it's going to stick. But when it's like that, what you forget is this. Throwing the spaghetti on the wall, the brain is still seeing that as what? You broken promises to yourself. And that's why exhaustion comes in, because you do not have a structure, okay? Because you don't have accountability, right? Because you don't have a system to regulate your nervous system, okay? So you keep repeating the old things that you know, and the brain is like, no, this is not gonna work. This is not what we're doing. So right now, some of you need a structure. That structure is what will help you to break out of the same pattern that has kept you stuck for many years. So this is what I'm offering you, a structure, accountability partner, identifying the pattern before the pattern takes over. When you identify, you're not just gonna stop there. Once you identify the pattern, you also know how to break out of this pattern. Okay, so if any of you're interested, knowing you want to know how to do this, or break out of this pattern, because 2027 is around the corner. If nothing is done, you are definitely going to repeat your year 2026, your year 2025 in 2027. So give yourself that permission to break out of that place where you have been stuck. If you're tired of being stuck and you want to move forward, and you're like, Coach, I desired a change, but I don't have what it takes, send me a DM at info@coachsheffy.com. Now, or even better, when you go on my bio, the link that is there, okay, you can book a session with me, your clarity session with me. Go ahead and do that. I know my calendar books, it gets booked very quick. When you go on my bio, of course, please choose one day where you want to sit with me. What are we doing there? I'm going to take you deeper so that we can identify the pattern, and also to see if you are going to be the right person to be part of this group coaching session, okay? Now, let me see if anyone has any question. Where have you identified the season that you're in? How are you approaching this season? What are you doing to break out of this season? Okay, this is very important. Any question, let's check on the other platforms. For those who are just joining, if you want to watch this on a replay, please go on YouTube, okay? Go on YouTube and type in Reset with Coach Sheffy. Because maybe you are at work, you couldn't take a note. You can watch this on a replay. So put in Reset with Coach Sheffy and you'll see my page there, and you'll be able to subscribe so that anytime you want to go back and watch it again, you'll be able to do so. Okay, you'll be able to do so. I can see that maybe you can see the email well. Let me put this here again. Okay, info at coachsheffy.com. Okay, and if you want to, you can also go on my link where you can book a clarity session with me. Okay, thank you for everybody. This was one of the longest one. It's 1 o'clock. Okay, drinking water. I'm thirsty. Okay, thank you all. Remember to activate your reticular activating system today. That's the part of your brain that helps you to be focused on the things that you want to achieve in life. And if you need an accountability on this journey so that you can quicken the process to become a finisher, not just a chronic starter, because a chronic starter doesn't take you anywhere. It keeps you stuck in the same pattern of just wishing and hoping. But becoming a finisher, you have developed this character to follow through along the way, showing up until you find a result that you deserve. Because right now, at the nervous system level, the brain level, the brain is saying this person, they can't go far that they want to go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see. Oh, no. Let me see. Not yet. Of course, I need to say thank you to those who have been here. Gigi. Thank you. Magdalene, thank you so much. Gigi, I appreciate you. Ivan, thank you, my dear friend. Marcus, thank you. Tonton Langs, thank you. Hijata, thank you. Salma, thank you. Venedes, thank you. Sidi Kulibali, thank you. Medjinara, thank you. User 99, thank you so much. Sergio, thank you. Fido, oh my goodness. Hey, how are you? Patty, thank you so much. Abdel Majid, thank you. Amza, thank you to everybody. Thank you for stopping by. And I'm going to go live again. Maybe not this afternoon. It might be in the evening. Let's see if this is going to happen. If not, I will see you tomorrow. But for those who want to work with me, go on my bio. Thank you so much. Go on my bio. And what do you need to do? You will see my calendar there. Book a session with me. This session will help you for us to sit together. We can teach everything on a live. We cannot teach everything on a YouTube channel. Okay. So while you book your session, you can sit with me and then we'll be able to see the pattern and how you can even dive deeper to quicken your process before we even start the group coaching session. This is very important. For those who also want to send me an email, okay, you'll see info@coachshefi.com. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for the follow, my dear friend. Okay. YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Please, if this is your first time being on my live, being on my page, you know what you need to do. Subscribe to this channel. Everything that has to do with identity, how to start and keep showing up, all these things, this is what you need. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.